Now, your 41 NBC AccuWeather forecast, presented by Volume Chevrolet.
Well, welcome back. Look over Dublin right now. Good amount of that sunshine. Just a few clouds that are hanging overhead for us. It is pretty hot out there with a heat index of 99. Actual temperature is 92 with an easterly wind, I believe 9 miles per hour. It's pretty gentle, but maybe takes a slight edge off the heat. I mean, our temperatures are kind of close to the average for this time of year. We're not dealing with anything excessive heat-wise right now. A little bit of rain just lurking outside of the region. Saw some lightning with that, but still very quiet for us in middle Georgia. Quick recap of rain from over the weekend. It does seem like everybody almost got like something, but anything substantial was largely limited to our northeastern counties. So definitely didn't get as widespread and heavy with the rain as we were expecting, particularly for our Saturday. But the wet spots did get more than 2 inches. You can see that there in Wilkinson County as well as southeastern Baldwin. Wet spot by location, Sandersville at 1.5 inches. That's followed up by Wrightsville a little bit under 1 inch. 93 our high today. That is one above the average of 92. Got down to 71 last night, which is the average for this time of year. Thinking very similar conditions for tonight, as actual temperatures will stay in the lower 90s a little while longer. Real feels probably about 6 to 8 degrees above that throughout the evening. Obviously not too much of a difference through the overnight hours. Still a little bit, but again, around average for our overnight low. Light wind will stay out of the east-southeast, and sky should largely be clear. So I honestly think we could see an upper 60. Eastman's a possible candidate, perhaps Forsyth. Most of us should still be lower 70s, though very, very close to where we normally are for this time of year. As for Hurricane Erin, it is pretty powerful. You don't see the eye right now. It's probably going through an eye wall replacement cycle as it's still moving to the northwest here. And something that's going to be important to watch with this storm is how much bigger does it get inside. We're not talking about the category number, all right? This is why I'm not a big fan of the whole system that we have for categories, is because it only relates to the wind speed, all right? Category 4, okay, 140 mile per hour sustained winds. That doesn't account for storm surge. It doesn't account for storm size. And the thing is that bigger storms do not turn as easily as smaller ones. So it's going to be very interesting to see how big this thing gets over say the next 24 to 48 hours. We still expect it to make a turn to the northeast, but how far west will it be when it does that? I don't think we're going to have any impacts in Georgia, but North Carolina, Outer Banks, that is unfortunately a possibility. I believe there's actually already some mandatory evacuations out that way. Just kind of letting this play through, and you do see how the edge of this storm does graze over parts of North Carolina. So they're likely going to be seeing at least tropical storm force winds, but if it is a bigger storm and it's a higher category, then yeah, it could bring some borderline hurricane winds to parts of the Outer Banks as well. And if Erin's not enough, we got the next storm trying to find behind it. It'll be named Fernand once it does. 60% chance to become a depression in the next 7 days. Now bringing it back to middle Georgia, luckily not too much to discuss here. We're going to keep it largely clear heading into tonight. I mean, there is a decent chance that we don't get any rain the rest of the evening, but I can't guarantee 0%. We might get 1 or 2 small showers or a storm, mainly the southern counties, but let's go into tomorrow, all right? Should be a partly sunny day, a 30 to 40% chance of rain, so less than half the region should see any storms throughout our Tuesday afternoon and the evening. And Wednesday's rain chances even lower. 30% I believe is what I have for Wednesday and 20% on Thursday. So most of this week's going to be really, really nice. The problem is Friday. Friday we'll see some more widespread rain chance with the cold front coming from the north. And I'll have your extended forecast coming up in 10 seconds. Your 41 NBC AccuWeather 7-day forecast is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. So you see the rain chances are pretty low throughout most of this work week, and Wednesday and Thursday should be mostly sunny. But cold front coming from the north heading into the weekend. There's 2 ways to look at this, all right? Obviously, rain can get annoying, and we don't have drought conditions right now, but it will drop temperatures to below average for this time of year, but definitely could be a bit impactful towards our end zone games with football later on this weekend. Perhaps next week we'll be off to a below average but sunnier start.
For weather updates on the go, download the 41 NBC AccuWeather app and follow 41 NBC on Facebook and Twitter.